Not everyone has the mental endurance that it takes to sit down and practice guitar for 8 hours a day, every day. And most of us just simply don't have the time to do that. We have to make room for other things in our life like socializing, working, taking care of your family. I wouldn't know, but if you're married and have kids, I assume that takes up a lot of your time and you don't have a lot of time in the day to sit down and practice guitar. But does that mean that you should abandon guitar practice altogether? Of course not. I would honestly rather only be able to play for 20 to 30 minutes a day every day as opposed to 8 hours a day, one day of the week. Consistency is key. So even if you don't have a lot of time to practice guitar every day of the week, it's important to keep your playing in shape. And that comes from playing the guitar every day of the week, even if it's only for 5 to 20 or 30 minutes. Not just for 1 or 2 days a week. I mean, if you go to the gym one day a week and then you do no exercise at all for the other 6 days, you're not going to see results. Same rules apply to learning an instrument. So here are some things that I personally like to do on days where I don't have a lot of time to practice. Actually, I'm going to start by telling you something I don't do on days where I don't have a lot of time to practice, which is stretch my fingers out. The purpose of doing finger stretches is to keep your fingers in good shape and prevent them from getting damaged, which is something that can definitely happen when you play guitar for long periods of time, day in, day out. But 30 minutes a day, every day, isn't really anything to worry about, so I personally wouldn't waste valuable practice time on finger stretches when I only have, 20 to 30 minutes to practice that day. Now, what I will do to warm up, in a sense, is spend 2 to 3 minutes on technical exercises. Okay, so say you have a technique that you want to get better at, like alternate picking. Just pick 2 to 3 exercises and sit and play them repeatedly for, 3 minutes. And by doing that, you're going to warm up both your fretting hand and your picking hand, and then you're going to be nice and warmed up for the rest of your practice session. It also ensures that you not only maintain but improve your technical ability. It will prevent you from feeling rusty the next time you go to pick up a guitar. It keeps you in shape playing wise. The thing I would do next is learn a song that is a bit challenging for me. I think learning songs is something that you should always be doing regardless of what level you're at as a guitar player. Because when you make a start on something, and it's a bit of a challenge the first time you try it, but then after having practiced it one day, you go back to it the next day, and you find that it's a little bit easier than it was the day before, that gives you a feeling of accomplishment, and it makes you hungry to keep going with it and, keep practicing until you have the entire piece just nailed. And learning challenging songs is something that feeds your technical ability as well. For example, I have been relearning some old Brent Mason songs that I transcribed years ago, and I haven't played them in a very long time, but when I'm playing through those solos, they're not exactly technical exercises, but they are technical and they're pushing my technical ability. So I am improving at things like picking and overall speed. So I'd maybe spend 15 to 20 minutes on learning a song, but I won't do that every day. Say I practice a song on Monday, I'll come back to it 2 days later. And what I will do in between the days where I'm practicing songs is I'll practice improvisation. This could be sitting at home with a backing track that you've found online or one that you've created yourself, picking some sort of improvisational tool that you want to get better at using, like the Dorian mode or the major scale or triads, and just sitting there and practicing that for 15 to 20 minutes a day. So I will alternate between these two things day by day. So one day I will practice a song, the next day it'll be improvisation, then back to the song, then back to improvisation. You get the idea. This is because I've often found that those two things, learning songs and improvising, are better practiced over longer periods of time and not necessarily on a daily basis, versus technical exercises and running scales, which I would recommend doing every single day, but in short, 2 to 3 minute bursts. Why is that? Well, improvisation and playing songs, those are things that are more mentally stimulating than simply running technical exercises or scales. It's easier to practice those things for longer periods of time without losing focus and getting bored. And that leads me on to the last thing that I would do in a practice session, which is run scales or arpeggios or any sort of improvisational tool that you like to use in your playing often. And I'm not talking about practicing improvising with these things, I'm just talking about running scale diagrams or arpeggio shapes or triads, anything like that. Just practicing the memorization of these things so they're always fresh in your mind and you don't end up feeling lost when you go to use them in a solo. Personally, that's what I would do if I only had up to 30 minutes a day to practice. Start with technical exercises just for 2 to 3 minutes. Just do it in short bursts just to get both hands warmed up and ready to play. Run scales for the same amount of time. Again, both of those things, scales, arpeggios, and then technical exercises, those are things that are better practiced in short bursts every day. And then to fill the rest of the time, do something that's more mentally stimulating, like learning a song or practicing improvisation. And again, I would alternate between those two things day by day. Those of you watching this that don't have a lot of time to practice every day, please let me know what your practice routine looks like on a daily basis. I'm really curious to know. Thanks for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it and got something out of it, please give it a like down below. Share it with your guitar playing friends. Click subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.